So the blood supply of the extrabiliary apparatus. First, that is the cystic artery. So here you can see the cystic artery, it is supply to the upper part, and that is supply to the cystic duct, hepatic duct and the upper part of the bile duct, and which is the branch of the right branch of the hepatic artery. So here this one. Second artery, that is the posterior superior pancreatoduodenal artery. So here you can see this one. So it is supply to the lower part of the bile duct, and it is the branch of the gastroepiploic artery, this one. And the third branch, that is the right hepatic artery. So here you can see the hepatic artery. So it is supplied to the middle part of the bile duct. So this one. Then the venous drainage of the extrahepatic biliary apparatus, that is the hepatic vein, it should be enters into the liver through the fossa of the gallbladder and join tributaries of the hepatic vein. Then the cystic vein, it is open into that the portal vein, and the lower part, it is also drained into that the portal vein. After then we should have to see, that is the lymphatic drainage of the extrahepatic biliary apparatus. Then it should be drained the cystic lymph nodes. The most of it lies the upper part of the extrahepatic biliary apparatus, that is the cystic lymph node. These are lies in the angle between the cystic and the common hepatic duct, which drain for the gallbladder and the cystic duct, hepatic duct and the upper part of the bile duct, this one. After then the lower part, it is drained into hepatic and the pancreatosplenic lymph nodes. After then the nerve supply. So the nerve supply is from the cystic plexus. So cystic plexus, it is forming by the hepatic plexus, which receives the fibers from the colic plexus, and the left and the right vagus and the right phrenic nerve. So these mixes and it should be forming that the cystic plexus. Then the parasympathetic nerve are the motor to the mucus culture of the gallbladder and the bile duct, but it is inhibitory to that the sphincter. And the sympathetic nerve supply, that is the thoracic segment of the 7 to 9 vasomotor and motor to that the sphincter. So it should be supplied by the T7, T8 and the T9 spinal nerves. After then we should have to see, that is the functions of gallbladder. So the functions of gallbladder, that is very much important. That is the gallbladder, it should be store the bile and release to the duodenum whenever it is required. So here in this diagram you can see, that is this storage of the bile, and whenever there is the fatty fluid or fatty food is present into that the duodenum, so that is the gallbladder, it should be contracted and it pour that the bile, and throughout that the bile duct it should be enter into the second part of the duodenum. Then second one, that is the absorption of water and concentrate the bile. Third function, that is absorbs small amount of loose bile salt cholesterol compounds by the gallbladder. And the last one function, that is it regulate the pressure in the biliary system by appropriate contraction and the relaxation of the gallbladder. So these are the functions which is done by the gallbladder. Then the sphincters related to bile and the pancreatic duct. So here you can see, that is the bile duct, and from this pancreas, that is the pancreatic duct, it should be joined to form the hepatopancreatic ampulla. So here, So this duct, it shows that the sphincter. So first sphincter, that is the terminal part of the bile duct. So here the bile duct and this is the terminal part. So terminal part of the bile duct surround just above to the junction with the pancreatic duct by a ring of smooth muscle. This one, red color, it can shows, called the sphincter. It is called the choledocha of the sphincter of the bile duct. Then second, that is the another sphincter which is less developed sphincter, present usually around the terminal part of the pancreatic duct, and it is called the sphincter pancreaticus. This one, red color. And the third, that is it is surround the hepatopancreatic ampulla. So this one, or that is called the sphincter of Oddi, whenever it should be enters into that the second part of the duodenum. So these are the three sphincters, they are related into that the hepatopancreatic ampulla. First, that is called the sphincter of the bile duct, it is called the choledocha. Second one, that is present to the terminal part of the pancreatic duct, it is called the sphincter pancreaticus. And the third, that should be present surround the hepatopancreatic ampulla, or it is also called the sphincter of Oddi. So these are the sphincter related with that the duct. So the last point related with the gallbladder, that is the clinical or the applied anatomy. So the first point, that is the formation of the gallstone. So here you can see that is the gallstone that should be formed due to the concentration of the bile into that the gallbladder. So the stones are formed into that the gallbladder, it is called the cholelithiasis, and because of that is the friction of the gallstone into that the mucous membrane of the gallbladder, it should be forming the inflammation, so it is called the cholecystitis. And the third one, that is the surgically, whenever that is the removal of the gallbladder is happen, so this surgery, it is called the cholecystectomy. Then the next is the biliary obstruction. So here in this diagram you can see the passage of bile into that the duodenum, it is blocked by that is the gallstone. So here you can see that is the extrahepatic biliary apparatus, and because of the contraction of that is the gallbladder, that gallstone that should be enters into that the cystic duct, so it may be block that the cystic duct, or this large gallstone that should be block that is the bile duct. So here, so this is called the biliary obstruction. So here in this diagram, that is the gallbladder is contracted. How that is the gallbladder should be done its function. The gallbladder is contracted when the food rich with the fat enter into that the second part of the duodenum. So here, so this second part or the duodenum, it should be liberate the hormone that is called the cholecystokinin and the pancreatoxymin. So these two hormone that should be stimulate the gallbladder and causes the contraction of the gallbladder, and also that is the dilatation of that is the sphincter. So here that the sphincter are present, so that should be dilated, and because of the contraction of the gallbladder, that is the bile, it is enters into that the bile duct, and then that should be enters into that the second part of the duodenum. After then, that is the function of the gallbladder, it should be checked or investigated by the ultrasonography. Then the next point, that is the Murphy's sign. So here in this diagram you can see that is the Murphy's sign. So in the cholecystitis, means that is when the inflammation of the gallbladder that should be occurs, the patient complains the pain over the right hypochondric region, which is radiated into the inferior angle of the scapula. Whenever in this condition, whenever you can keep the fingers just below to that the right costal margin at the tip of ninth rib, okay, and the costal cartilage, and in that condition patient feels the severe or the sharp pain on the inspiration. So that is the Murphy's sign, and that is for the diagnosis of the cholecystitis. So the next clinical point, that is the refer pain related with that the gallbladder. So pain stretch of the CVD or the gallbladder, it is referred to the epigastrium. So here, and it also refer to the right shoulder, this region, and also into the inferior angle of the right scapula. So here, that is the refer pain that should be occurs into the three region, that is the epigastrium region, into the right shoulder region, and into the right inferior angle of the scapula. Then the last clinical point, that is called the calotte triangle. So it is a triangular space formed by the cystic duct. Here you can see the common hepatic duct, so this one, and the segment of right hemiliver, so this one. So here that the triangular structure. So this part or the triangular space, it is called the Calotte's triangle, and this space consists of the cystic artery, cystic lymph nodes, and the autonomic fibers reaching to that the gallbladder. So that is the important sign called the Calotte's triangle. So these are the clinical points related with that the extrahepatic biliary apparatus. And the last clinical point, that is related with the investigation of the gallbladder, that is the bile duct can be observed. So this one, that is the bile duct, can be observed from the duodenum by the procedure, that is this procedure, it is called the endoscopic retrograde cholangiography. So throughout that the procedure, you can see that is the bile duct which reaches to that the second part of the duodenum. So these are the clinical points related with the extrabiliary apparatus.